The Torah tells us, "V'yachalta v'savata uveirachta." From here, Chazal teach us the mitzvah of Birkas Hamazon, the mitzvah of grace after meals, the mitzvah of benching, of after one partakes of lechem bread, so you have the Birkas Hamazon. The Gemara in Brachas and Rishonim talk about what exactly is the Chiyuv Minat Torah. Is benching all the time Minat Torah, or only sometimes? Because the Gemara tells us that we know we have 4 brachas we make in benching. So Minat Torah, there's a concept of thanking God. The actual nusach is in Minat Torah. And in fact, the nusach probably changed when the Jews traveled in Midbar, so they made the bracha Hazana Sakol. When they entered Eretz Yisrael, so Yeshua instituted No Docha with Shlomo and David, Bone Baracha V'Shayim Amen, and Harugi Beitar Tova Meitiv. So it was a progression in terms of the Nusach. But fundamentally, V'Yachalta V'Savato V'Rachta is a din daraisa to bench. How does one fulfill, or what qualifications does one need? So it's a machlokas in the Gemara in Brachas that Rabbi Yehuda says, "V'yachalta v'savata." You need an achila sheyesh bo seviyah. You need an eating to the 2 parts. So it's v'yachalta v'savata. You need an achila sheyesh bo seviyah. It has to be a kedei seviyah. And Rameir's opinion is v'yachalta achila in. Achila pachas mikazayis. Achila is always reference to kazayis. So you have to eat a kazayis of bread. V'savata zuhu shtiya. That's drinking. So it's a machokas in the Gemara whether you have to eat a kedei saviyah or whether a kazayis is enough. So we paskin that you need a kedei saviyah. Achila sheyesh bo saviyah. However, we don't totally reject that shita. The Rishonim write that you have 2 people who ate a certain amount. If there are 2 people that ate a certain amount of bread, and one drank and one didn't drink, so the one who drinks, he should lead the zimum, because perhaps v'choshesh for the shita, of course, it's if you want to drink. If you're thirsty and you want to drink, so therefore, you need a drinking to be chayav minat Torah. We don't pass them that way, but we see l'chumra, sometimes we rely on it. So either way, it's a discussion in Gemara, v'chalta v'savato v'rachta. There's another Gemara in Brachas, and Daf Chaf Amid Beis in Brachas, where the Gemara talks about also Birkas Hamazon, Minat Torah. Now, what about Nashim? And then at the end of the Gemara talks about how there seems to be a stira in the psukim. On one hand, it says Asher lo yisa upon him that God doesn't play favorites. On the other hand, it says Yisha Hashem panav elech, he does play favorites. So the Gemara says, you're right. How could he not play favorites? He does, because since Minat Torah to be chayiv and benching v'yachalta v'savata, yin achila sheyesh bo sviyah. Yet we're medaktik and alatzman to make a bracha ad kizayis ad kabeya. So we see that since the Jewish people are machmer to even bench on a midrabanan on a kizayis, so therefore HaKadosh Baruch Hu plays favorite. So we see the machokes whether you need a kazayis or a kabeya. So the question is, we have a lot of chumras. We know by nida ben el Yisrael machmir al atzman, by kashrus, we have all these chumras. We're machmir in all areas. So why does the Gemara single out this chumra by Birkas Hamazon? You know what? If you're machmir and you even bench on a kazayis, you know what? Then God's going to favor you. Why not pick kashrus? Why not pick nida? I guess over here, this one's a positive mitzvah anyway, but because we see we saw Salantis that HaKadosh Baruch Hu loves when we eat more than when we don't eat. But either way, why is it that specifically in this Gemara it picks out by regarding Birkas Hamazon? There's a famous Gra in Mishlei. The Gra in Mishlei, in the pasuk Tov Ayin Hu Yivarach, he brings down that we know there's a concept of that Kedei Saviyah is equal to Suda. You eat Kedei Saviyah, you're eating a Suda. 3 Beitzim is 1 Suda. If you have, the Zohar writes, if you have 3 Beitzim, it's 10 Kezesim. So 3 Beitzim, so the whole Suda, a person could have, it's Kedei Saviyah, 10 Beitzim. So a person has a choice now. I have Kedei Saviyah, I have 10 Kezesim in front of me. I can eat the 10 Kezesim and fulfill my mitzvah and Torah of benching, because v'achalta v'sabata, or no, I could give it out to 9 aniyim, to 9 people who need the food, and I could share it with them. And what do I gain by sharing with them besides losing my mitzvah and Torah? So that's what the Gra says, that number one, by doing this, you have fulfilled both a mitzvah ben adam l'makom and a mitzvah ben adam l'chavero. Like we know the luchos, the shnei luchos, 2 sides to the luchos. The first cleanse, ben adam l'makom, ben adam l'chavero. Keep it up. Anything seems to be on the wrong side, but no, it's a perfect transition. As the Minchas Chinuch writes, you're serving your Creator as well as serving people. So you get it's a combination of ben adam l'makom and ben adam l'chavero. So that's what they're going to go into something similar here. On one hand, you're doing ben adam l'chavero, you're sharing with 9 aniyim. Where's the ben adam l'makom? By adding 10 people, you bring God into the conversation. And that's why, that's what HaKadosh Baruch Hu loves. He loves when not only do you do ben adam l'makom, but you do ben adam l'chavero as well. And that as well as someone, I think it's Yeshua's Malko, who also says something similar. He quotes the Machlokas we mentioned before. Machlokas is a Machlokas Rav Meir Rabbi Yehuda. So according to Rav Meir, V'achalta v'savata, you have to eat a Kedei Saviyah, or I should say V'achalta is a Kezayis, and Rabbi Yehuda says Achila sheyesh bo svitus. The Machlokas, how much you have to eat to be chayev in benching. So the Achronim point out, imagine the scene if Rabbi and Rabbi Yehuda, Talmidim are sitting if they were at the same table, they'd work it out. We're more concerned about the Hasidim of the Rabbeim, who don't have the full scale and balance to make the decisions. They'll turn over a big fight. They're going to have, no, my Rebbe's right, you have to eat, you only eat Kezayis, no, I say a Kabeya. So the Achronim explained that they were careful, that the Gemara says, Ad Kezayis, Ad Kabeya. They were careful, when they ate together, you'd eat less than a Kezayis. According to everybody, you don't have to bench. Or Ad Kabeya, at least after a Kabeya, that everyone agrees that you do have to bench. And again, the same idea that is a combination of an Adam L'Makom and An Chavero. And that's the concept we got here as well. We know that the Chasam Sofer points out that we always have Parshas V'Eschanan after Tisha B'Av, because Tisha B'Av is no Talmud Torah, only for the Dvarim Harayim, and therefore V'Eschanan has the Aseres HaDibros, it's a re-establishment of the 10 Commandments. It's a reenactment of Ma'amar Sinai. We need a new Kabbalah Torah, like the Achronim point out. Why is it that we know there's halacha, there's no Sheila Shalom on someone on Tisha B'Av. Even if someone answers you, you answer back with a low voice. The Shaila is, we all know that what was one of the things that brought the Churban Abayis? Sinas Chinam. So you would think that's the day we should be giving great halos. So the Mefarshim went out, no, that's the day we have to reevaluate, talk to people properly. We're not saying hello properly, but like you shut off a computer, you reboot, things get set up. So too, we take a day off on Tisha B'Av to reevaluate how we're saying how you're doing, and actually meaning it instead of walking away as you're saying it. And that's why we have Shabbos Nachamu, the Shabbos after, because how do you comfort Nachamu? How do you comfort by being menachem others? God says that's how you menachem me, and that's the concept. We have Thu B'Av as well right around this time, when the Gemara says in Tainis he used to go around in a circle, because a circle means everyone's equal. They used to borrow the clothes, but no one should be embarrassed, and no one should know who's a millionaire, who's rich, who's poor, and so that's I think the way Yisachar writes that's why Samach is the letter 15, an allusion to Thu B'Av. We see the concept of being very meticulous in your about Adam Machavero as well, especially after Tisha B'Av. And in fact, that's what Meshach Chachma and others point out, that there's a whole discussion in the Gemara in Bava Basra, I believe, about which stone they're going to use to build the Chomos Yerushalayim, the walls of Jerusalem. So it's a machlokas. Someone says from the Shoam, the other one's from the Yashbi. So the Meshach Chachma and others point out, because where does the Shoam come from? That comes from that goes on the ephod. And the Gemara tells us in Zvachim, other places, that's where you machaper al Zara. That's on your Deyas, Yamuna, so that's Ben Adam Machavero. And the Yashbi, that's the last one, the Choshen HaMishpat, that's for dealings in Dinei Mamanos, Ben Adam Machavero. So therefore, which one caused the destruction of the temples? The Gemara says both. Kedeim and Kedeim, we need both of them. And we need a combination of Ben Adam Makam and Ben Adam Machavero. And in fact, that's what they point out, the Meshach Chachma in Parshas Vayera, that's where Yerushalayim comes from two names. Aram called it Yirei, and Shem called it Shalem. So you put it together, Yerushalayim. That Yirei is from Ben Adam Makom, and Shalem from Shalom Ben Adam Machavero. That we know there were two reasons why the Batei Mikdash were destroyed. One was for the Gimel Averos, and one was Sinas Chinam. So the Gimel Averos, you need to Mechaper on Ben Adam Makom. You also need to mechaper on the Ben Adam Machavero, and that's how they explain the famous Rambam in Perish HaMishnayos, that he talks about the different mitzvahs in Olam Shir. You do a mitzvah in Olam Makom, you only get schar in Olam Haba, but you get 2 pluses for Ben Adam Machavero, because not only that's what God wants you to do, plus you're helping someone else. The Talmud Torah can get Kulam. That also has to do like B'dam Machavero, as because number one, Torah may be Udei Maisa, or as Yisrael Samanta famously said, when a Jew is mispalel anywhere, a Jew is mispalel in New York, you could be helping the souls in Eretz Yisrael. You could be praying in Lita and helping a Jew in France. That's the ultimate B'dam Machavero, and that's the Yisod here. Why over here specifically by B'erchas HaMazon? Why was it singled out? Because singled out either according to the Gra, Yeshua's Malko, it's the combination that instead of eating a Kedei Sevilla on your own, you shared it to have 10 Kedeisim, and you brought Hashem Elokeinu, you got Ben Adam Machavero. What you have there, you avoided Machokas between the Talmidim who held the Kazayas versus Kabeya. That's the Kibbut Abaim. It's a combination of Ben Adam Makom and Ben Adam L'Chavero, and that's as well the issue, which stone do you use, the one from the ephod, the Choshen Mishpat, and ultimately, the 2 Batei Mikdash, Ben Adam L'Makom. So in order to rebuild the Beis HaMikdash, we have to repair both things. We have to repair Ben Adam L'Makom and Ben Adam L'Chavero, and that's the concept now during the Shevet Nechemta, Nachamu, that in order God is only comforted when we comfort others, and that's why we always have, right after Tisha B'Av, we have Shabbos Nachamu, we have Thu B'Av, and we have Kabbalah Torah to show that, to be a complete Kabbalah Torah, it has to be together with mitzvahs de Adam L'Chaveiro.